Am I an idiot for banning my sister from ever seeing my daughter again? I, male 36, got married 12 years ago and my wife and I had a daughter, Rebecca 10 Fahrenheit. My sister, Lindsay, never really liked my wife and I had to put some strong boundaries in place. It was not a good time and Lindsay really hated my wife more since she said I was choosing my wife over family. Well, 2 months ago my wife's father got really sick and after a long talk we decided that she will go take care of him until he passes away. That's the last of her family. We thought he would move in with us but he wanted to go home. So my wife packed her stuff and flew across the country to him and is his full-time caretaker. He probably has a month or 2 more. When Lindsay heard about this, she made a comment at dinner when Rebecca was at the table that my wife had abandoned her. This was the last straw and I went no contact with her. Rebecca really loves her aunt though and it's been hard. Rebecca wants to hang out with her aunt and I have refused to let her. I work from home and yesterday around lunchtime I couldn't find her. There is a note in her room saying she went to have lunch with Lindsay. I was furious and tracked Rebecca's phone, the first time that has ever happened, and they were at a restaurant. I got there as fast as possible and grabbed my kid. I told Lindsay she will never see my daughter again. This started an argument and I literally walked out halfway through. Rebecca the whole time was crying and I asked for her phone. She gave it to me and I deleted her aunt's contact information and told her you will never be talking to her again as long as you are a minor. She was crying even more. I told my wife and she thinks I did the right thing and has been on the phone with Rebecca a lot since it happened. I have been fending off calls from all my family calling me a jerk. I need an honest option since Rebecca and my family sure think I am awful update. So it has been like 2.5 weeks since all this happened. Thank you to everyone that responded. So after this whole mess, my daughter and I traveled to where my wife and her dad are. We are all going to stay there until her dad passes away and I have a feeling it will be soon. He is not doing well. Rebecca is still kinda upset that she won't see her aunt again but having her mom around really helps. My wife and I discussed it for a long time and we decided to make a paper trail about what happened. So all that happened is now on record. My family kept blowing my phone up for a bit until I told them she is lucky I didn't call the cops. They got quiet for a bit and according to my cameras, showed up at my place. It took them a while to figure out we left to be with my wife. Now Lindsay, yesterday it must have sunk in that I wasn't joking and she called so many times and I gave in to see what she had to say. It was a long apology on her end and asked if she could see Rebecca. I told her no, that she needs to stay away and she crossed a huge boundary. She asked if she could talk to my wife, so I put her on speaker. Lindsay then apologized to my wife about what she did. My wife was quite brutal and basically said if she really meant it then stay away from them. At the moment, Lindsay won't be seeing my daughter again for a bit. If she does stay away then maybe she will see us on Thanksgiving and Christmas. If she doesn't behave then probably won't see my kid until she is 18. Again, thank you to everyone for the good advice. Edit. She knows why, it was explained. Still, Lindsay was a huge part of her life. It's like when you have a friend that is great to you but she is awful to others. I can be her friend since she is nice to me and ignores what that friend does to others. Not the idiot. I really think you need to explain to Rebecca why she can't see her aunt. Explain the sequence of events and constant abuse toward her mother. If you don't she will only get her aunt's version and will likely keep seeing her once she turns 18. Not the idiot. Good job for standing up for your wife like that and joining her while she is going through this difficult time. I know it is hard for your daughter to understand, but her aunt literally kidnapped her, and she doesn't deserve to hear such things about her mom abandoning her. In time I am sure she will understand better. Is this father taking things too far? Let me know in the comments. Now, am I an idiot for getting my sister expelled from school? I, male 14, recently got my twin sister, female 14, expelled from school after reporting her for the bullying she did. I don't think I did anything wrong and my grandpa, male 72, is on my side but my parents, male 40, and female 40, think I betrayed my sister. My sister has never been the nicest person. She got in trouble for bullying in elementary school and earlier in middle school, has gotten detention and ISS before, but this is the worst punishment she's gotten so far. She can be mean to our siblings and cousins if she wants to. We are in 8th grade now. A few weeks ago, I was playing basketball outside during lunch, which we're allowed to do. My friends and I were having a good time when we saw a boy crying on the grass. My friends and I went to see what was wrong. This boy was telling us about how he was being bullied by a group of kids for being preppy. Posts skincare routines on TikTok, Starbucks iced coffee, generally seen as a more feminine male aesthetic. We told him we thought he was cool. He started discussing skincare and fashion with us. We don't know much about it so me and my friends were trying to talk about Nike and stuff about fashion we did know. Mostly sports stuff. And he actually knew quite a bit about it. Said he started taking courses at a local college about fashion history. He's also in 8th grade like us. After we calmed him down, we asked him if he wanted to play ball with us and we were amazed at how good he was. He said he's not really into sports but he was so naturally good. Had us playing our hardest and scored against a few of us when playing in teams. We encouraged him to potentially try out for the team in high school and he said he'd consider it. Over the few weeks, we've started to hang out with him more and more. We were at the park playing with him and he dropped his phone. One of my friends picked it up and unintentionally opened up the messages on Instagram since he got a notification for it. He saw someone text him homophobic stuff. The boy noticed my sister was one of the kids sending him the messages. We told him it wasn't okay and that we'd go to AP with him. My sister and her friends were called into the office and they all got in a bunch of trouble. It was her, 3 other girls and 2 other boys, one of which is her boyfriend. My sister was the ringleader and the cruelest, so she got the harshest punishment and was expelled. My mother and father said I shouldn't have gone to AP and instead talked to them. My grandfather has a different perspective since he was involved in progressive activist groups in his teen years and college years. And while he's straight, he saw his gay friends get bullied and was horrified about what she was doing, even though it was to a straight boy. My sister is calling me an idiot, a snitch, and says she hates me. My friends are reassuring me we did the right thing. Update. I want to update everyone on what happened recently. I didn't expect my post to blow up in the comments of the last post. I mentioned how my sister had her phone taken away. Well, a few days ago, my parents were cleaning her room and found a burner phone. On there she had Discord. When my parents opened it up, they found a slew of extremely racist and homophobic content that my sister was both consuming and writing. The other male friend, the one that is not her boyfriend, was also involved. He has gotten in trouble at school for past homophobic behavior. He's one of the kids who tries to be edgy. His parents aren't bigoted, but also really didn't do anything to curtail his behavior in the past. Besides just saying he shouldn't say that and he's being an ass, he's on the football team and his teammates, friends have never liked his edgy views. But when they heard about what he was sending, they talked with him and are trying to connect to him on why what he's doing is messed up. My sister and him have expressed no remorse so far. Once they saw those messages, my parents were horrified and grounded her for a few weeks from hiding this from them, and are looking for a therapist to try to radicalize her views. My new friend is doing better than ever. My sister's boyfriend has shown genuine remorse. Despite his parents defending him, they see their kids as doing no wrong. If their child bullies someone, it's always the bullied kid's fault. But he has an older brother who's 15 and is an amazing guy. He talked to his younger brother about his behavior and made him realize it was messed up. The other 3 girls involved have not spoken to him since, but one of them was seen bullying some random kid in a TikTok comment section, so I doubt much has changed with them. Our new friend is going to join us at an overnight basketball camp. We met his parents and they thanked us for helping their son. They found a guy for private basketball lessons after me and my friends were pushing him to try out next year. The trainer said he was really good naturally and he's developed an increasing like of the sport. His dad is a vendor at a local antique store and bought me and my friends some signed basketball memorabilia as a gift. His parents said they haven't seen him this happy in a long time. Their son never opened up about the bullying to them. They told us he's much less angry now and went on about how he brought back the little boy who was always happy. Me and my friends are counting down the days to camp. As for the advice, I just encouraged my grandpa to stand up more, but they didn't care until the burner phone. For those complimenting my writing and grammar, you can credit my coach, who's also my English teacher, not the idiot. Hopefully Opus's sister can turn her life around and see the errors of her past. She's young enough to become a decent adult, and old enough to carry lessons until the end. Glad the victim can see a brighter future ahead. So often bullied children are ignored and carry horrific trauma with them that's not taken seriously, not the idiot. It never ceases to amaze me how much better your generation is than mine. I'm a millennial and at least when, how I grew up, this would never have a happy ending. Y'all are awesome for stepping up. And as for your sister, I was once a radical and I got better. It can be done. Hope for nothing but the best. Should she have reported her sister? Let me know in the comments. Now, am I an idiot for not having my niece be the flower girl at the wedding? I am a bi woman. The person I am engaged to is also a woman. This is relevant because my sister, Amanda, hates both things. She and her husband, John, are both homophobic. So during the process of planning our wedding party for our wedding next May, the idea of having my niece be the flower girl was never even brought up. Instead, we pretty quickly chose my fiance's little cousin for that role. My sister found out that her daughter isn't going to be the flower girl and is absolutely livid about it. She insisted that my fiance, Jane, had forced me to choose her cousin over my niece. That my niece was the obvious choice and I should change it. You may say, why not just have 2 flower girls? Well, I suggested that as a compromise to Amanda, but she hates that idea too. The main issue I have with making my niece the flower girl is that I can't be sure she will even be there. To be honest, I didn't even know until recently if they would even come to the wedding at all. Still not sure honestly. Their tolerance levels fluctuate on who they've been around, and even if they did, I would have assumed they wouldn't want their daughter a part of it. Who knows if everything will be fine leading up to the wedding and then the day Amanda and John decide to be homophobic. I know I sure don't. Somehow, my sister has gotten my parents on her side and my mom says I'm being bitter because I wasn't invited to my sister's wedding. I'm pretty sure that that's not it, though I was hurt at the time to not be invited. Part of me still is. But I don't think I would try to punish my niece over it, which seems to be what my mom is trying to imply. Update. A few years ago I posted this here on Am I the Idiot? About my sister making a fuss about my niece not being the flower girl at my wedding. No one has asked for it, but I wanted to share this update anyway, because you guys really helped out a lot. So I took a few people's advice about having both my niece and my then fiance's, now wife's, cousin being the flower girl without letting my sister know there would be 2. The day of the wedding and only my sister and niece showed up. Brother-in-law was nowhere to be seen. My sister was a little surprised about the 2 flower girls, but then surprised me even more by talking about how having 2 was such a cute idea. My sister was super sweet all through the reception, and I felt like I had my old sister back, which was so nice. We had a chance to talk in a way that we hadn't in years, and we spent a little time going over the whole flower girl thing, and my sister was embarrassed and apologized. Without getting too much into things, my sister left my brother a few months after our wedding. And she confided in me that part of her decision came from seeing how differently my wife interacted with me and our family members when compared to her husband. Basically, ex-Bill was not a good person to my sister, an understatement. And she is so much happier now. She's like she was at the reception, like my old sister who is full of life and caring and sweet and an absolutely awesome mom. But the biggest reason why I wanted to share this update was because my sister and I have had a lot of long talks since the wedding and the whole flower girl ordeal. All of it stemmed from my ex Bill and his awishness. He did plan on causing a scene by not allowing my sister or my niece to come to the wedding. Apparently it was like a 3-hour fight before my sister was able to leave for the ceremony. The biggest surprise came when we had a long talk after her divorce started. Me, my sister and my sister kept asking a lot of questions. Most of them centered around us being women who are bi or attracted to women. The next night my sister came out as bi to the both of us. 3 weeks after that, without knowing our sister came out, our younger brother came out to the family as pan. Anyway, I just wanted to thank everyone for their advice and their kind words. I have my best friend and sister Beck. I am so very happily married to the most awesome woman in the world. And I get to go with my best friend, my awesome wife, and our super cool pan brother to Pride this year. Things get better, and it's okay to give people you love a chance. Not the idiot. So glad for you have your sister back and so glad she got rid of that toxic husband of hers and can be who she actually is. Also glad for your niece. She now has a loving parent without any toxicity.